What's up? How's the Legion of Comic Collectors doing today? Well, I hope you're in the mood to look at some Green Lantern books. This will be my Green Lantern collection part 3. We're going to look at what I have for volume 2. Volume 1, of course, being the Alan Scott run. And then a complete look at volume 3, which of course stars Kyle Rayner through the most of it. Volume 2 here, I've never really went out of my way to go after. I like it. It's fine. For me, Green Lantern gets good around Rayner and gets really good when Geoff Johns comes in. And a lot of these older stories are hit or miss. But we have issue 19 is the oldest I have. And then for the next little bit, all of these were actually given to me by Comic Fu 2814. His doubles, the first AOK he sent me way back before even the Fanboys days. And interestingly, number 42 is a key. I will point out any and all keys as we go. It's the third appearance of Zatanna. Pretty cool. So we got a few of these Silver Age. Issue 50. 51. Issue 56 is a key. First appearance of Charlie Vecker as Green Lantern. Pretty cool. These are all definitely neat books. And then we kind of get into where I have a decent amount going forward. Of course, 87 here. First appearance of John Stewart. Second appearance of Guy Gardner. We get to issue 90. First appearance of Sarek. Not 100% sure who that character is. I do have some doubles of these. I try to pick up better ones as I can. Got a few of these. And of course, issue 85 over here in the slab. And then issue 100 here. First appearance of Airwave. I have a couple of issue 101 and issue 103, but no 102. We go to 104. I've got a good chunk of this run, especially from right about here going forward. Got a couple 107s. These issues right here with this character are actually some of the first ones I picked up. I got a couple 110s. 111, the first mention of the Starheart, which of course later on becomes a source of Alan Scott's power. We got a couple 113s, a 116. I guess I apparently have 3 117s. And then here, it gets pretty good. The Green Lanterns force him out into space for a year, which I think is a smart idea. And eventually here we start getting Tales of the Green Lantern Corps backup. I definitely need to rebag and board all these at some point. It's something I say I need to do for years, never actually wind up doing it. Seems to, oh, I see. 129. And I do like this series right around here. Just not as good as the later Green Lantern. I think it took them quite a long time to figure out what they wanted to do with Green Lantern. 136, first appearance of the Citadel. You get to 141 right here. First appearance of the Omega Men, which is pretty cool. Issue 144. Issue 148. First appearance of Chip, which we all know is Comic Fu 2814's favorite Green Lantern. 149. First appearance of Salak. Issue 150. Couple 153s. And this series stopped and started a lot. It got canceled a lot. He was a backup in Flash at one point. It stopped and was a backup in Action Comics at one point. So definitely a rough ride for Green Lantern. Didn't really get consistent until the next volume of not being canceled. And then Jeff Johns come along, set the ship good, and now I think we're kind of back to DC just not knowing what to do with the character. And a lot of series stops and restarts. A great cover there. Issue 170. Issue 173, first appearance of Javelin. For years, I always thought this was King Shark, but it's not. 176, first appearance of the Demolition Team. A very 80s group of villains, if I say so. And then we get one of the mini temper tantrums of Hal Jordan quitting. You get the first real stint of John Stewart as Green Lantern. Hal loses his ring more than most people lose their car keys. We got issue 188, first appearance of Mogo. Pretty cool. The Planet Green Lantern, for those that don't know who Mogo is. And this continued along a bit up until issue 200. I believe there was a period of time between releases, another semi-cancellation where he was in Action Comics And the series actually continues. So here we have issue 200. So there's a gap. And when we come back from action, it's the Green Lantern Corps. So technically Green Lantern Corps Volume 1, but really just a continuation of Green Lantern Volume 2. And this is the first appearance, weird, of Kilowog. And there's one more key in here. Quite a few people. An interesting key, as in the character is interesting. And this was a weird story. It took place after Millennium. So all of these Green Lanterns are just on Earth. Kilowog, like, lives in Russia and likes Russia. I believe he helps kind of invent the... either invent or improve upon the Red Rockets. Salak. And then we get to 217. First appearance of Drick. He's a Green Lantern that is actually killed by Sinestro, but because of a glitch in his ring is able to stay alive anyway. Another character called Olapet and Floto Span. All first appearances. That's the last key of Volume 2, at least the last key that I own. This is definitely a weird time for Green Lantern. See, like, even a Guardian that, like, looks human. So they went off to breed, I guess you could say, in a different dimension. And there's the last chapter of Volume 2. One of the bajillions of times the central power battery gets destroyed. It seems to be what writers do with Green Lantern. They can't really, they don't seem to have the talent to write so many characters and so much stuff. So it's every time a new writer takes over, it's like, hey, let's destroy the power battery, take a bunch of rings away from people, and just focus on like 2 characters. Then we get to Volume 3. So this kind of focuses on the 3 lanterns you see there at first, kind of rotating between them at the beginning here. And that's pretty much what's going on. I believe it's not too far into this that Guy loses his ring and has Sinestro's ring. 4. Issue 5. First appearance of Tomar 2. I believe is the son of Tomari. These are actually some of the first books I remember. I don't believe I had any of them, but I remember seeing these covers way back when and was interested. Very cool stuff. This was actually, I believe, the only Green Lantern book I had as a kid that I got at one of those multi-packs at like a Dollar Tree. Or I may have had another one. I don't think so. And you see like the little prequel story here that leads to John going to his Mosaic title. The beginnings of that. Guy Gardner. Issue 19. First appearance of Talon Gur. Issue 20 is a key. First appearance of Boudica, who would have a pretty storied Green Lantern career, appearing in a lot of different ways and even being a Alpha Lantern. Here we go. Pretty sure there's when Guy loses his ring. And then really, the story wasn't too bad from here to where Rayner comes in. A lot of interesting stuff, a lot of nods to the past. You know, getting to see him team up with Wally like he used to with Barry. Like I said, he was a backup in The Flash. He rekindles his love with his underage lover there. Hal's such a peach. Loses a fight with some Christmas decorations. And there's Guy with that ring. Adam Strange. I believe Adam Strange was a backup in Green Lantern. Dark Stars. Gets beat up by Deathstroke. Issue 44. And this series went 200-something issues. It was getting close to getting canceled with Hal being the main guy. And this is part of a Trinity mini I don't hear a lot about. Tie in with Reign of Superman. Last team up with Green Arrow in issue 48. You can see on the left a DC logo variant of it. The first appearance of Kyle Rayner. We got this. I actually have a second copy I could put away now. Issue 50. First appearance of Hal as Parallax. He beats Sinestro to death. Kills Kilowog and the Guardians. All that stuff happens in this issue. And I believe it's the first issue Kyle's a Green Lantern. And then, of course, we get Kyle's ongoing story. And I didn't mark it down. I think it's one of these issues, the death of his girlfriend. We see Alan Scott. I believe he was known as Sentinel around there. And we have issue 0. This is where it fits. But I want to show off an AOK from my buddy Tony Fett. Issue 0 signed by Ron Mars, who is the Green Lantern Rider. The Kyle Rayner Rider, I should say. So then we get into Kyle's run. Really enjoyed Kyle's run. And I know this is going to be a longer video, so I'll try to just flip through. The keys are pretty far apart from here on in. Pretty cool stuff. Kyle and Wally. I just love this run of books. Such great reads. I enjoy this Hero Quest storyline. Basically going to get advice about being a hero from 3 different heroes. 75. Oh, issue 74. First appearance of Graven, who is like a Kyle villain, basically one of Darkseid's sons. And I know there should be more. I actually have 2 issues here of issue 81. I believe that was after Hal died in Final Night. 82. 83, first appearance of Fatality, who could be seen right here. I'm trying to figure out the guy's name. I think it's Effigy, something like that. I feel like he should have had a first appearance in this series, but maybe he popped up in like a mini or an annual or something. But how often do you see runs go into the 200s? It was a good time at DC. Definitely challenging to collect all these runs that went long like that, like Flash, Green Lantern, all that stuff. Wonder Woman had a 200 plus issue run. There's Graven, the aforementioned. A Legion crossover. There's Hal. I believe this is where Hal comes from the past, like, for a little bit. Issue 107, where Jade becomes Green Lantern for a little bit. Seen there. There's only one more key listed, which I think is wrong. Because now that I think about it, I think even Abin Sur's son makes his first appearance in this series. See, there's Effigy right there. It's got to be a first appearance. Not listed, though. Plastic Man. Such a great series. Now Hal Jordan's the Spectre. And I think Kyle's, can't believe I forgot the name of this. It's like Kyle's subconscious, the evil side of him manifest, and is a villain. Pretty sure that happened in this series too, but maybe not. It's a good Manhunter story. Fatality. And this, issue 1, I hope I passed it up. 32 here. It's first appearance of Nero, who I believe, could be wrong. I think he just had Sinestro's ring, like Guy used to. But maybe it was different or more than that. But he's a pretty good villain. I enjoyed him. I thought having Jade in this series was good too, because then it brought a lot of interaction with Alan Scott. But definitely a very cool series. My arm's getting tired flipping through these this much. Try to get through them. But yeah, there's no more keys listed from what I could find. Alright, last little bit. Maybe this didn't go 200 issues. Like 180. But either way, there's John back as a GL. I think at this point Kyle could make rings. And I think here's about where it kind of started going downhill, story-wise. See right here, it had to be. There's Abin Sur's son. Now, I don't know if he appeared in an issue before that, but I would think this series was his first appearance. And it was tough to find a couple of these at the end. Although I think 49 was actually the last issue I needed to find back when I was collecting this. Last little bit here. So as we come up on the end, I appreciate you watching. If you like this kind of content, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Yeah, it's like 182, 181. I think this was the other issue I had a hard time finding. Issue 181. So there you have it. That's what I have of Green Lantern Volume 2 and a complete Volume 3 run. Like I just said, I appreciate you watching. I'll see you next time.